Good evening, gentlemen. How are you tonight?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Um, Before we get on with the show, I know normally we like to start the show with a little thing called Ask Harrison, but I was wondering, John, if it'd be okay if we did a different thing today called Ask Snowman.
I don't know. Is that a good thing?
I don't know, man. We have a question submitted for you. Do you want to take it?
Sure, why not?
All right, here we go. Hey, Snowman, it's Mike out in the snow. And today's question is, do you have anything you wanted to tell us or anything you want to announce? Take care.
No, I've got nothing.
Okay.
No. um,
On with
we could just run a video maybe, and that would explain it.
You know what? Why don't we do that? Hello, Henry. Good evening, sir. Glad you're watching.
Henry.
Because you've just tuned in at the right moment. We have an announcement to make here, and we're going to this video will tell you the whole story. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Jon Snow with TooLoud2OldMusic.com coming at you with some exciting news. After 8 years of running the site, we decided we'd do a show, and the show is going to be called The Collection. So naturally, it's about my collection, and we have over 2,000 pieces, so we thought it'd be good to go through them. Occasionally, we'll have guests, maybe even having some of the artists that are in my collection on for interviews. We don't know what's in store, so hopefully you'll be excited about it as much as we are. And it'll be coming soon. So go to YouTube, click subscribe so you'll be notified when the shows post. Thanks and welcome to The Collection.
Good stuff, John.
There it is.
That's exciting. That's your brother-in-law, Ryan Williams, who did the
Ryan
music.
did the music, so that's our theme song. No lyrics.
I got to tell you, man, what I love about that trailer, because I've seen it. Spoiler alert, I've seen it a couple of times already. It's like playing that game. Got it, need it, got it, need it, got it, need it, need it, need it. You know, like I'm looking at that. It's like, oh, there's that vault. And then you show your Kiss box sets. And it's like, oh, I've got those too. And then you see the Def Leppard box sets. And it's like, oh, I've got some of those. And I'm looking forward to it, man. Do you have a date?
No, I do not. Okay. Still putting a few things together for a couple surprises. But no, it'll be in February.
Excellent. So next month.
It's just not sure which one. Not sure which week yet.
So go to Too Loud, Too Old Music on YouTube. Subscribe. I've already done that. And in fact, there's a link to his YouTube on mine. So
and it'll post tonight at midnight. So the video,
that video will debut. That'll be your first video posting.
It will be.
There you go.
So awesome. Brand new site. So not much on it at the moment.
Henry says it looks cool, and I tend to agree. Well, do you want to get started? Tonight we are looking at our music DVD collections and on with the show, as they say. Harrison, did you want to start us off with some of your stacks? I think you said you had 3 stacks.
Yeah, 3.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I've got 5 really large stacks, and if I can, you've got 4. Okay, I got 5. I'm gonna try to rip through them as fast as I can, and if you guys want me to slow down, stop on certain ones, let me know. But let's start with Harrison's first stack of music DVDs. What do you got, buddy?
All right. At first, I was thinking, is there a way that we can piece like 4 and 5 and 3 together that we don't have anyone like going immediately after and stuff? I'm like, that's too much work. Let's just figure it out.
We've also got a mid-show break too, because we're going to be showing Peter Kerr's top 5 music DVDs. He submitted a 5-minute video, so we'll work around that.
All right. So first up, my AC/DC live of choice.
Live at Donington.
Great set list. Great show. Until we get a full show DVD from the Back in Black tour or the '83 tour, this is probably the best we're going to get.
There was a live video from the, I want to say it was from the the 80
There were
tour.
in the Plug Me In. There were a couple of 81 live performances, but I don't think a full show.
When I was growing up, Much Music used to play a number of videos from that show for those about to rock tour, and I swear they might have played a full concert.
If so, I've never seen it released on DVD. But anyway,
No, not on DVD. No.
all right, so from A to B, Black Sabbath.
Ah,
Live
yes.
gathered in their masses. This is an odd one because at the time they recorded it, I don't think they were planning the Ends DVD, because this is from the 13 tour.
Okay.
And for some reason, they decided to record it in Melbourne, Australia, of all places.
Well, why not?
And of
No
course,
why.
we are looking, for those who don't know, Harrison is in Australia. So we are looking at Australian editions of these DVDs, which will look different from yours, possibly.
Yes, we have our consumer advice bit there.
What did that say? Sorry? Coarse language? Yeah, well, it's Aussie. On drug
And
references. Well,
And drug
Snowblind,
references.
Sweet Leaf, and Henry has that.
Methademic. And they play
Methademic, that's
Methademic on
another
this one too. This is a good one. Aussie's obviously getting old, but it's still a nice set list. It's from the 13 tour, so it's nice to see live stuff from that.
Well,
album.
I gave the live album, that CD version, I gave it a glowing review. So
Tommy Cluffitos has a great drum solo in this one as well. It's only 2 minutes, but he fits so much into that 2 minutes, and you never get bored.
nice.
All right, so continue on with some classic bands. This is the only live DVD available for Slade.
Really?
Very nice.
Yeah. It doesn't even have the original singer because he left in the 90s. This is from 2015. It was recorded 2011. So
Oh,
it's
look, they
got
did a Quiet Riot cover.
Funny, and I'm sorry to shame T-Rev, but when I was working at the record store and Oasis came out with their cover, T-Rev goes, "Why are Oasis covering Quiet Riot?" Sorry, Trev.
This is a good show, even though it's not with the original singer. There's plenty of live stuff with Noddy Holder in terms of CDs, but this is the only DVD. And this one is exempt from classification.
Oh,
Wow.
well, okay.
A lot of documentaries and music stuff often get marked as exempt from classification, unless
Unless you're Black Sabbath.
Go Australia.
Yeah. Well, Rolling Stones get a 15 restricted to 15 and over for infrequent coarse language.
Infrequent coarse language. I'm sure it's a lot. Ozzy swears a lot more than Mick Jagger. I'm certain.
Yeah, but I think there might be a C word in this, and I think that automatically bumps it up to that rating. Like Iron Maiden's Live After Death had this one because in their documentary Mission from Ari,
They say that, yes,
they
a
say
few
that.
times, yes.
Anyway, this is far and away my favorite Rolling Stones live album. Steel Wheels is one of my favorite albums of theirs. This is a great show. So many songs from that set list. Some great guests in Axl Rose, John Lee Hooker, I believe Eric Clapton. Yeah, Eric Clapton as well. Yeah, Stones have a million live albums, but if there's one that you have to have, I'd say it's this one.
Bill Wyman was still in the band.
Yes, he was. Funny thing about that, there's like no shots of him anywhere. I forget that he's actually on stage because I see him so little. And every time a shot of him comes up, oh, yeah, that's right, he's in the band.
That's funny.
And even when there's a shot of him, it's just him standing there like he doesn't move at all. So, yeah.
So just to get you caught up in the comments, Henry is thanking you for getting him back into Slade. He just bought a best of CD. And he has the CD DVD dual edition of that Stones.
Yeah. I was considering getting that, but I ended up going just DVD for some reason.
No worries.
Yeah, the best thing about a Slade best of is that you can still buy the albums and have tons of great deep cuts to listen to.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so changing style a bit. ABBA in concert
Nice.
from '79. It's a bit annoying that some of the songs are truncated and cut off basically for documentary footage in the first half because it was originally a TV special thing. But the second half of the show is all full songs. So yeah,
I hate that kind of editing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, like at the time, it made sense because you can go and see ABBA on tour, sort of thing. But you don't see them, behind the scenes and stuff of the tour. But looking back, it's like I wanted to see the songs, even though ABBA jogging and roller skating and all that is interesting. The songs are better.
Fair.
All right, an Eric Clapton show from 1986, Montreux. This one features Phil Collins on drums,
Ooh.
and the man even gets to sing lead on "In the Air Tonight."
Oh,
Can we take
nice.
a look at the spine?
Yes,
Just do a Tim Drilling. Yeah. So all of the Live in Montreux have the exact same layout, and I believe they're all silver like that. They look really sweet lined up together.
We'll see another one. Let me just grab the Alice one because I will show it up later.
Yeah. There you go. So they're not the exact same shades of silver, but there's definitely like a gray silver theme.
Probably due to age. That Montreux from 2005. This might be a bit older. Sorry, younger. But yeah, this is a great show. It's my favorite version of In the Air Tonight.
Cool.
I do have Bee Gees, one night only. I bought this on DVD at a CD and record fair. Very next CD and record fair, I get it on CD. It's a good show.
I just watched the Bee Gees documentary on, I don't know if it was Max or whatever. It was really great seeing the whole course of their career.
Yeah.
I really like their early stuff.
Olivia Newton-John's in the audience for this, and she gets a few camera shots during Grease.
I'm just going to kill the spinning record.
Why are you getting dizzy?
I am actually.
Yeah, I can't look at it.
Now I've got a trilogy that I'm calling the Yellow Trilogy because the spines are all yellow.
Oh, that's cool.
So these are all like, because it's N and O, these two, and I've got the Mad Max ones that are all yellow. There's like a section on my bookshelf that's like yellow.
Question from Henry here. Do you consider the Bee Gees to be an Australian group or British?
I never really considered them Australia. They did spend some time here. They co-wrote a couple songs with an Australian artist called Ronnie Burns in the very early 60s, I believe. But I'm pretty sure, or at least I'm boring. I classify an artist based on where they were born.
Gotcha. See, we don't do that in Canada. We consider Sebastian Bach a Canadian, even though he was born in the United States and lives there today. We still consider him a Canadian. Good question, Henry.
All right, so the first yellow one is no doubt Rocksteady Live.
Ooh, that surprises me. Surprises me.
It surprised you the first time I showed it off too.
When was that? Because that must have been a while ago.
That was I think CD and record fair halls. That might have been
a long time ago.
Yeah. Anyway, good show.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm allowed to forget these things, right?
Yes. I mean, it's good for me because I can show things off again. Everyone can be like, ooh, ah, instead of saying seen it. All right. Ozzy Osbourne, Speak of the Devil, the DVD version. This is not the same show as the CD, although it does have Brad Gillis on guitar, who, if I have my history correct, would go on to become a part of Night Ranger.
Oh, you got that right. And I believe it's Gillis. I believe. Okay. That's the way I say it.
So.
Yeah. This set list is not the Sabbath covers set list from the CD, but instead it's more, you can't see it, but it's similar to Tribute, basically. It's the solo Ozzy set. It's good to see. I like, we don't have any footage of Ozzy performing with Randy live, except for that studio one of like Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley in one of his box sets, but not like a full concert show like this.
Right.
So it's great to see.
I would like to see that. I'm recent to Night Ranger, and Brad Gillis does a lot of whammy bar, and I would kind of like to see him do that in that video.
Oops, there goes Bee Gees.
That's okay.
I've got it on CD. Anyway, it's fine. It's not broken. The other thing is Tommy Aldridge does a drum solo in this. At one point, he just ditches the sticks and starts hitting it with his fists.
He was known for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still does it, but he was known for that.
I don't know if he stopped, but I saw a Whitesnake show on video, and he does that in the Whitesnake video.
Yeah.
And that was probably within the last 10, 15 years. So,
nearing the end of the stack, only a couple more to go. The last of the yellow is Fleetwood Mac The Dance. This is one of my favorite things Fleetwood Mac has done. This is basically the last hurrah of the most famous lineup of the band, because Christine McVie would leave shortly after this, and Buckingham left, and they haven't released anything much since. It's a great set list. There's old, there's new, there's old but deep cut and hasn't been seen before. There's a Lindsey Buckingham solo song, and of course for Tusk the whole marching band comes back out on stage, and you can see him at the bottom here. that
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of band in the back there. They play. They bring the horn section to Tusk, and then because they're still on stage, they bring the horn section to Don't Stop as well, which is amazing to hear with a horn section. And then at the very end, it's just Christine McVie and a piano for Songbird, the final song of the
Right,
set.
which we've discussed on the show prior to this, yeah. And Henry says he's been checking out Tommy Aldridge with Pat Travers. Didn't know that. And The Dance was a very popular album when it was released on CD. Yeah.
And to finish off this stack, I've got a selection of Dio features. So the first, Rainbow, live in Munich. Amazing show.
Good evening, Chris.
A 30-minute version of Still I'm Sad with Cozy Powell doing 15 minutes of that on like drum solos is a bit easier to take when you're watching it as well. It's a great version of the song. The finale to it with Dio coming back in on vocals makes it all worth it, the preceding 25 minutes.
That's ridiculous, man.
Like the one on stage is only like 11 minutes. Here it's a full half hour.
Well, I have that live album, but I can't remember the last time I played it.
All right. From Dio's solo career, Sacred Heart and Holy Diver Live. Two great shows. This is probably my favorite live thing Dio's done. I'm a huge fan of the Sacred Heart era, and it doesn't really get featured on many other live albums. A shame about the medleys for his older songs. Older. I say older. This was 86. I'm talking about 83 songs when I say older, but
right, yeah.
We've got the Donington CD.
Dio fans know what you mean.
Metallica would approve.
Yeah.
And lastly, Heaven and Hell, Neon Nights.
Yes.
His final, basically filmed and released performance.
I played that this week.
It's a good show. It's great to hear Country Girl, even though it's just the intro.
Yeah.
For some reason, they cut that off the CD.
And Chris, I would say on a technicality, laser discs would count. I wish I had a laser disc. I just think they looked cool. But, one of my holy grails would be the Star Wars trilogy and laser. That would be a holy grail for sure. Cool. Well, thank you, Harrison. Is that your first stack?
That is my round one.
And John, you've got 4 stacks. So let's get going.
My stacks aren't probably as big as his 3 stacks. So
okay.
My other three stacks are going to be band specific.
Okay.
And then this first stack is just going to be random artists and stuff. And we'll start off with plug me in.
We're going to do the thing that we do on Durling Show, which is anytime 2 people have the same thing, we're just going to go ahead and show it.
Let's do it this Durling way.
I have to hand in my Australian card. I don't have that.
But yeah, it's three DVDs. There's really only one live show in full, and I think everything else is just bits and pieces. But this thing someone gave me their collection, and this was in it. And it's still got every piece of everything in it.
Yeah.
So
I haven't touched anything inside mine.
So yeah, so it's a great little set. I haven't watched it in a long time, but it's AC/DC. You know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So, next one for $2.50. Audio Slave.
Live in Cuba.
Live in Cuba.
That's nice. Oh wait, you've still got the price tag. Let's see that again. There it is. I love it. I love it when the price tag's still on there.
$2.50.
That's like you might as well just say victory.
Yes. So I mean, why would you not grab this for $2.50? So
I hate to interrupt. I picked up the Whitesnake live in '84. I picked that up at a CD and record fair. It was still shrink wrapped. It still had the $24 price tag on it, and the guy still sold it to me for $2.
Ha!
I even asked, he said these are all $2, and I pointed to it. I'm like, even this one? And he's like, yes, that one too. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I like this one. They do, there's all sorts of. Let's say they do Soundgarden, of course.
Yeah,
and then Rage songs and Audio Slave songs. So it's a great set. And then I've got a brand new one here. Haven't even opened it. It's the new Billy Idol.
Ooh.
At Hoover Dam, and there's a bad light. There we go. So this just came out, I guess, right around Christmas time or so. He released it in the movie theater for one night only, and I went and watched it in the movie theater. I think there were 7 people in the movie theater, but it was great to see it on the live. So yeah, I'm going to open this soon. I have to do a review on it for my Billy Idol series that I had, and so we'll get on to that one soon.
You
What
have
year
Chris's
is it
support.
Sorry,
What year is it from, the performance?
2023.
Oh wow, new one.
So he did it this past summer at Hoover Dam. So there's like a section they do on top of, not on top of the dam, but there's a section down off near the wall. They do a little acoustic set, and then they do a full show further away with the Hoover Dam background. And there's like a little documentary piece in there about the show as well. It's really cool. Some special guests on it. The bass player from No Doubt comes out. One of the Sex Pistol guys comes out. It's really a great show. So, and then another fairly new one. It's Dokken.
Oh yeah.
This was on Frontier's site for $5.
That's a great live album.
Yeah. And what year was this? Yeah, 2016. So it's fairly recent. Yeah. And it has George Lynch, Pilson, all the guys.
I have the CD DVD set of that, and yeah, there's like documentary stuff in there that's really good too, like them just hanging out backstage and playing musical instruments together. Really cool.
All right. And then the only video I have of these guys, Rush. And, it's fantastic. It's Rush.
We'll be seeing more of Rush.
Oh, I'm sure. I figured you might have some. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's great stuff.
And I should also point out, when we do get to Rush, I'm not including anything in my show and tell here that comes with a CD, because I file that completely separately with my audio collection.
Correct. I'm the same way. All my CD DVDs are over there, and I didn't pull any out.
I file it based on the case it's in.
And that's another totally valid way to do it.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that. Henry is a Rush DVD fan.
Very good.
And there's been so many comments here. Chris P., thank you so much for watching tonight. And yeah, Don was sounding better back then on that Return to the East. That he was really sounding not too bad. Yeah,
it's a good show. Yeah. I was actually a little worried about it, but yeah, it was good.
And Grant's here tonight. Grant is congratulating you on your $5 score there.
Oh, thank you, Grant. Okay, now don't laugh too hard on this one. It's a Canadian artist. I can't remember why it's in my collection, but Shania Twain.
Oh, phew, I thought you were going to say Celine Dion.
Oh, no.
I owned Shania Twain's greatest hits at one point.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing to watch. I can tell you that right now.
Mutt Lang co-wrote a lot of her songs.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris P is a Shania booster. So there you go.
Oh, very good. Yeah. I mean, I was a fan a while. She's really easy on the eyes. So this is probably why I have that. But I haven't watched it in a long time. Now I want to watch it again. So, this next one is my only Jeff Scott Soto video. It's Talisman. It's his band. This thing is 2 DVDs. There's live shows, there's videos, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's just jam-packed with anything Talisman. If you don't know who they are, it's a wonderful.
Go to tooloudtooldmusic.com and read everything.
Read the Jeff Scott Soto series. I did every Talisman album, including reviewing this, and he's a fantastic singer. Very melodic rock, hard rock stuff. It's some and they do some great covers too. So I recommend Talisman. That's one of my favorite things about his career. The Talisman's probably one of my favorite bands. That he
did. Soto ever play the Aces High cover live? Because that's a great cover.
I have that cover, but I don't have it live. I don't have a version of it live. Yeah.
So all the Shania Twain comments here. Glad to see that there are Shania fans here. But I always like to tell the story. One of my bosses at work dated young Shania Twain back in the 80s.
He did.
Yes, he did.
She touched my hand. She was here in Charlotte for a concert, and we had not front row, but front row on the side. and they were pushing her around, and she came by and slapped my hand. So
That's
I
cool.
turned to my wife and was like, "I'm never washing my hand again." She's like, "You can sleep on the couch."
See, this is why I love telling that Shania Twain boss story. Yep, it is true.
Well, that is crazy.
Yep.
So, all right, let's see. UV. Yeah. So this one's next. U2, Rattle and Hum.
I like that show.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I like early U2. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you're
actually,
a fan
that's
of the
basically my peak of U2 fandom right there.
Yeah. I probably hung on for a couple more years. I like up to when was Vertigo? When was that album? I like that one.
That was in the 2000s, I think.
Well, then I skipped some stuff in the middle there. So
yeah, because there was Pop, Achtung Baby,
Yeah. Okay. See, I'm not a huge fan. I just random albums I like and I get them. All right. This is proof that Tommy Aldridge does do the drum solo with his hands. This is Whitesnake.
Yes, I have this.
You have this one?
But it's filed with my music collection because of that CD that's included.
Oh, but it's a DVD box. So it went with
I see. So that's why. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But it's just a bonus CD of 10 tracks. It's not the whole show on CD. So.
That's right. That's right.
But this one cost me nothing. This was back early in the internet days. Some website was doing a contest, and all you had to do was put in your email address, and I actually won and got sent this. So,
tons of U2 comments here. Chris P prefers the 90s version of U2 to the 80s. Grant thinks their version of Helter Skelter is horrid. Chris says they have a lot of great live DVDs, and Henry saw them 10 years ago for a birthday concert.
Very nice. I wouldn't mind seeing them at the Sphere out in Vegas.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My final one on the first set here is Robbie Williams, the Robbie Williams Show.
You are a fan.
This was a TV show that they did, and they did it in the style of that 87 or 67 Elvis comeback show.
Cool.
Whatever year that was. So the same style of that show, they did that for this. And if you're a Robbie Williams fan, there's nothing but hits on this thing. And he's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, I love his ego, and he has a huge one, and it's fun to watch. And, it's good to see a confident front man out there giving it his all.
Yeah.
And he sounds great on this one. So that's my first stack.
Okay. Let me go grab my first stack, which is rather large. One moment.
Okay. So. Yeah, see, Chris P said too campy for US though. That is true, and it's a shame because I have every album he's done, and I'm a big fan of Robbie Williams. So someone here in the US does like it.
All right, so I'm not going to be able to look at the comments for a little bit here. I don't know where that came from. All right, let's go. I'm going to rip through these. AC/DC Family Jewels, nice complimentary piece to the box set that we saw earlier, 2 discs. AC/DC No Bull. This is also excellent. I've reviewed it on my site. This is the director's cut as opposed to the original version that came out on VHS. And then we have this AC/DC Access All Areas envelope, which is still sealed, and I'm not sure which one of those it came with. I have this filed under my DVDs because I have a Japanese album in my music collection, but this is a dual disc of Aerosmith's Rockin' the Joint, which I think is Vegas.
Yeah, I have that one too, but like I said, mine's over in the CDs. So.
Alice Cooper. I'm surprised this is my only Alice Cooper actual DVD. And it's just, it's a few music videos and a DVD jukebox of all kinds of stuff. Edgar Winter. Of course, every Canadian needs to own Anvil, the story of Anvil. This is a fantastic documentary. I would rate it in like my top 3 music documentaries of all time.
Yep.
This is a Black Sabbath DVD with Tony Martin and Bill Ward on drums. Very, very, very unusual lineup. They only played a few dates like this. That is cool. Blu-ray, Black Sabbath Paranoid. This is from the classic albums. You remember this series they used to do in the studio? They'd get the band members back together. They'd talk about how the album was recorded. They play the original master tapes. I have a lot of these, and this is an excellent one. More Sabbath, Never Say Die. Harrison's nodding. He knows.
Yeah, I was looking to get that one many years ago, but missed
Now
it.
here's a good one that Harrison hasn't shown. Bruce Dickinson's
don't know
anthology.
that.
This is 3 discs. This is 3 discs. So disc 1 is his Dive Live video that was released on VHS. Then we have Skunkworks Live, which I believe was also a VHS. The second DVD is the Scream For Me Brazil concert, which I think it was an album for sure anyway.
Yeah, there was a Scream For Me album CD that I think it had Piranha on it.
Yes, that's correct. And the third DVD is all the promotional videos, everything from Tattooed Millionaire to Abduction, and then there's some bonus features. Tremendous value. Tremendous value. Now we're into Deep Purple. There you go. Live in Australia, 99, Total Abandon.
Different cover to my one.
Well, there you go.
And we'll see that. You'll see mine next round.
I was sad when Ian cut his hair, but the infamous Come Hell or High Water DVD. This is the video in which Richie Blackmore launches a water bottle in the direction of Ian Gillan mid-song. He also fails to show up for Highway Star, basically. He shows up for the guitar solo and leaves. Now, he says he was throwing... Yes, John Lord was doing his best. Richie Blackmore says that he was not throwing the water bottle at Ian Gillan, but at a cameraman. He's notorious There's videos of him demolishing a camera with his guitar. So that's a possible alibi. We'll let him.
He says that in a Richie Blackmore's Rainbow interview on Memories in Rock 2. He does speak about that incident, and he says it was a cameraman.
And I think he also says it in this, because that's all split up by documentary footage. Another classic album, Deep Purple, Machine Head. Of course, they had to interview Richie separate from the rest of the band.
Can't imagine why.
Now, this is a cool one. Deep Purple, new, live, and rare. It's music videos. It's live footage. Goes into the Steve Morse era. But the really cool thing is, I think this is the one that has a very rare, I think it's on this, a very rare Deep Purple song called Fire, Ice, and Dynamite. And it's the only place where you can get that song, Fire, Ice, and Dynamite. I think it's one of the bonus features here, but I don't see it on the back, so I could be lying. I know I have Fire, Ice, and Dynamite somewhere. Great concert, but unfortunately abridged. This is not the full show that you can get on the 2 CD set. Very unfortunate. They performed the concerto for group and orchestra here. They have Ronnie James Dio on guest vocals. They have Steve Morris, not Steve Morse, Steve Morris from Ian Gillan's band. Each of the band members gets a solo spot. So like they play a song from Glover's solo career. They play a jazz tune for Ian Pace. Really cool jazz version of Ring That Neck. Great. They do Love Is All from the Butterfly Ball, Roger Glover's Butterfly Ball. Oh, with Dio. Oh, this is so good. You can hear my enthusiasm for it. I don't even remember what this is, but it's
a documentary plus the 30-minute performance from Japan.
Okay, there you go.
That.
With Tommy Bolin. Yeah.
The famous one where his arm was numb, so John Lord was playing most of the parts on his keyboard.
Right,
and
right.
He was just doing basic guitar work.
That's true. He had an injury. Let's just say that. There's another Montreux for those keeping track at home. I think this is what, the 4th one now?
3, I think.
3. You only had 2, right? Yeah.
Alice, Purple, and Clapton.
I have the 2 CD Japanese set as well, which has all of the tracks, because the regular CD for Live at Montreux does not have all of the tracks. Now we are into John T. Snow's territory with the Def Leppard Hysteria Blu-ray live in Las Vegas. You know, I don't even remember watching this, but we all know that the album is great.
I'll say I have that in a CD size.
So which it is also available. Yes.
It's over in a different section.
This is another great one. This is the Historia and In Your Round, In Your Face 2 double feature. Yeah, we'll do them both. This basically combines all of the VHS tapes that Def Leppard had out at that time, compiled them together into 2 DVDs.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I've reviewed both of them. John's in the process of reviewing. You'll get to it. And this might be one that John doesn't have. And okay, this is where I do this.
Crossroads.
Yeah. Oh, he does have it. He does have it. He does have it.
We're doing one of my sets right now, so.
So, Chris, yeah, I kind of figured we'd have a lot of overlap on the Def Leppard.
On the Def Leppard stuff, yeah.
So, Chris P, maybe you can stop them from throwing tomatoes.
I don't know any Taylor, don't worry.
Now, here's a band I like a lot that I don't think either of you guys really follow, but Faith No More, again, combining 2 VHS tapes in one set. Really cool. I remember getting You Fat Bastards for Christmas one year, and I just thought, a great name for a Christmas gift. You Fat Bastards. Rob Halford's Fight. I've never really, I don't remember watching this at all. I must have, but it's War of Words, the film. And then there's a bonus CD, War of Words remixed and remastered, which I have in a whole other set. So that's why this is filed with my DVDs. He's re-released a lot of the same stuff over and over and over again. Yeah, right. Hey, oh, underrated performance here. The Goo Goo Dolls in their prime, live in Alaska. I love music filmed in strange locations. So why not outdoors on top of a glacier? There's an actual version. Sorry?
What year?
This is around the time of Gutter Flower.
Okay.
On the back, I'm looking for a year, but it's around the time of Gutter Flower.
So yeah, still they're good years. But
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that has got to be the absolute worst cover I've ever seen.
It's from a series.
No, the front. It's just horrid.
It is. It is horrid. But I'm telling you, this is so good. They play their songs on top of a glacier. They play them in a train. They play them in a little bar. And I just love the nature, and I like this band. But there's like a cool scene of them arriving on the airplane, and it's the middle of summer, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, but the sun is shining. And they're like, so where are all the kids? And they're like, all the kids? The kids are in bed. You know, it's they're asleep. It's 11 o'clock at night. And they're like, wow. Now we're into the Guns N' Roses, so we'll just quickly show off all the Guns N' Roses. Live Rarities is like a unofficial deal. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 live.
I can't believe they split that Tokyo show as well.
Still on DVD. Music videos.
I've only got one of the Tokyo ones.
Live in Paradise City, which is the Chinese Democracy lineup, including DJ Ashba and Appetite for Democracy. I would like to get the version of this that comes with a CD. There is a version of this that comes with the show on CD, but I don't have it. All right, that is my first stack. I'm just gonna. Do you guys want to run the Peter Kerr list or go straight to Harrison's next stack? What do you want to do?
Up to you.
All right, we'll go to Harrison's next stack. Give me a minute to put these away, and you go ahead.
All right, so we're getting to like a lot of band features now. So the first up, Iron Maiden. I don't have the full Maiden set, but I've got a good chunk of them. So first, Live After Death, the very first music DVD I ever bought. For those who know how Live After Death was recorded, this means it's only sides 1 to 3, and it's not the same audio. There's nothing from Hammersmith on here, but you do get a second disc for the History of Iron Maiden Part 2. The funny thing about the History of Iron Maidens is that every time they released a new one, they chopped it down by 30 minutes. So Part 2 is only 60 minutes, but it's still fun. Then there is the reshoot of Maiden England 88. This one has the 3 encores with a new mix by Kevin Shirley that were previously not on the VHS. And this was a VHS CD combo, I think back in the day, like Cross Purposes Live was. This also has the History of Iron Maiden Part 3 at only like 30 to 40 minutes. It's also got 12 Wasted Years, which is a really cool documentary because that was filmed in 87. So the band are young, and it's, what they're saying isn't colored by history, basically, not like any hindsight or anything. It's what they're saying in the moment. And of course, with all these DVDs, you get the music videos for the albums that are associated with them. Less necessary, but if you have this set, this is a really cool one, Visions of the Beast. Along with studio music videos, it's got live music videos, it's got some new animated ones, it's got that hidden future reel Easter egg where it's just footage of them playing football, which I absolutely love. There's a couple of live versions on here. This is a great set. I love this one. Then the history of Iron Maiden Part 1 was quite a thing. It, in fact, got its own sort of DVD. So you've got, at an hour and a half, the early days documentary. You've got Live at the Rainbow, half of Beast Over Hammersmith, basically all the Bruce Dickinson songs, plus Iron Maiden. Live in Dortmund, I think minus Iron Maiden, because that was never broadcast due to the violent murdering of Eddie. Although there is footage in 12 Wasted Years of that event, I believe. And I love how the DVD are those like real. I think they're real. I'm too young to know exactly what.
You know, this won't surprise you, but I have all of these, so you know I'll only flash them quickly. But it'll be interesting to look at the differences. So get yours back when I do mine.
Yeah, this is I think an English version because I bought this on eBay because the classification thing looks different. But this is Flight 666, the documentary and the show basically. A lot of these Maiden stuff I have only on DVD because I bought them first on DVD and haven't picked up the CD yet. Similarly on Vivo, another good show from the Final Frontier tour. I think basically half the album is played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they play half the album here, which is always good to see.
I love that when bands have pride in their new music. Enough pride in their new music to play it. Not like Kiss.
Another documentary here as well. And that's going to be a good lead-in to my next band, Alice Cooper. The Nightmare Returns is the first one. It's a Kane Roberts show.
I don't have that.
It's really cool seeing Kane Roberts. You know you're in for a different kind of show when it opens with Welcome to My Nightmare and you're expecting the bluesy solo, but it just goes into Kane just going for it on the guitar. It's like, that's the kind of show.
I've never heard it. Like, the only thing I've heard is Teenage Frankenstein because I used to play it on Much Music. That's the only thing I've heard from this concert.
It's not Alice's best performance vocally, but it's still worth watching. It's still a good show. You get stuff like World Needs Guts in his prime, stuff like that. There's not as much 80s as you'd expect, but it is what it is. It's the only film stuff we have with Kane Roberts, so we take what we can get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Continuing on with Alice Cooper, I'm going to show these two off at the same time because they're similar in the sense that they both include a DVD and a CD, but the CD doesn't have the full show on it.
Right.
In the case of Montreux, I think that was stock, but this is Brutally Live. This is the reissue from a few years later that added that in.
Those are the versions.
Brutally Live, both of these are great shows. I think Brutally Live I prefer because it's got a few more deep cuts, like Caught in a Dream, a cover of My Generation.
I didn't like the way his band was sounding at that period. You know, is it Ryan Roxy? I think it's Ryan Roxy.
Yeah, I think Ryan Roxy joined here and then he dropped out for a bit and came back.
I know that I might not be, you know, in the majority here when I say this, but I'm not a fan of that era, the Brutal Planet Dragontown era. I got back on board with Eyes of Alice Cooper.
Funny, Eyes of Alice Cooper does nothing for me. But I'm like, you could make a really good album if you're taking the best of Dragontown and Brutal Planet.
Yeah, I think you could.
Anyway, moving on. Theater of Death. This isn't the best thing he's released because a lot of the songs are truncated. They run into each other. You don't really get full versions of anything.
I have that here on CD, but I haven't actually played it yet.
Eric Singer, I think, is in the band at this point.
I think he was also the drummer in the Brutal Planet era, too.
That's possible as well. It's all before he joined Kiss, I think. So
I know he was the drummer for Dirty Diamonds because that's the tour I saw.
Yeah. This isn't an album. Well, it's filed in my DVDs because it's in a DVD case.
Yeah.
It's Detroit Stories. However, it does come with the DVD for Paranormal Evening at the Olympia, which is a great show, amazing show. World Needs Guts, Women of Mass Distraction, Brutal Planet. I like that song. You know,
yeah, me too.
All sorts of Cold Ethel. I'm always happy to see. A lot of Pain. Pain is on this too.
I love that song.
Yeah.
It's the lump in your head when you step on the rake.
All Right, so I mentioned Deep Purple. So this is my Total Abandon Australia 99.
It is completely different.
Now, the funny bit about this is the Gillen there is different from the Gillen there, is different from the Gillen here in the terms of photos, is different from the Gillen. That's Gillen? Yeah, that's Gillen as well, I think, on the, yeah. Different Gillens. But the funniest part, that's a Blackmore.
So basically, this would be something that I would mistake for a bootleg if I saw that on a shelf.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
Harrison, that is bizarre. You should really post some of these things just as curiosities. I'm serious.
I mean, I don't think it's a bootleg. It could be a bootleg. It lists all these special features that I can't find on the DVD. Maybe it was meant to be a double disc. I bought this at a CD and record fair, so I don't know.
So who knows? It could be. Either way, that's still a curiosity, and I would.
I mean, it's got all the standard, things logos you'd expect. But yeah, it's funny just to see all this mess of photos. All right, now with the correct photos, live at the NEC, this was John Lord's last show.
Never seen it, didn't know it existed.
Oh, it's a great show. Don Airy, I think he's playing keys from the start, but John comes out towards the end.
That's right. They had both keyboard players during that.
Both play, yeah. It's a great. I liked it. It was the first Purple DVD I bought because the set list was basically what I wanted.
Well, that would have been just after Abandon and before Bananas. Oh, Bananas.
Yeah. 14th of September 2002 was when it was.
Henry makes a valid point. Green is not a color one associates with Deep Purple.
Well, I will get you some purple in Phoenix Rising. Mike already showed this off. Documentary.
What's it rated?
What's it rated?
Drug references in course language. So it's an Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's mostly in the documentary. There's the half-an-hour Rises Over Japan film. That's a curiosity. Like I mentioned, John Lord's doing his thing for Tommy, basically, because Tommy can't play properly. It's a curiosity. It's not the best show Coverdale's ever done, but it's still worth seeing a few times just to see what was at the time. It's certainly unique.
Well, and that's something that I look for in a concert that I'm buying. I don't want something that I see every day.
And to finish off this stack, I will be going to Blaze Bailey, of course. You've seen these before.
Yes.
His Live in Czech DVD.
Brilliant artwork.
Great
Brilliant.
show.
Brilliant.
This and the next one I'm about to show off are both from the Redemption of William Black tour, which was the third album of the concept album trilogy. Live in France, the better of the shows and artwork, in my opinion. Both of these come with a bonus disc with a DVD that describes the background of the show. They're called, in this case, The Road to Chez Paulette, because that's where it was filmed, and this one is The Road to Berna, because that's where it was filmed. And, Mike, there was a handily timed Facebook memory. This is, of course, the DVD version.
That's a great album.
This is an amazing live album. One of the best things Blaze has done, in my opinion.
Henry owns these on CD, though, so good for you, Henry.
I've got CD of France. I don't have CD of Czech. But I've got CD of Poland, as you know.
Yeah. And you helped me acquire mine.
Yes. Well, I forced you to buy it after much bugging.
He kind of did.
I did a Derling.
Yeah. Some of these guys are really bad for getting me to buy stuff. Derling's
top of the totem pole there. I'm a bit lower down.
I just bought a Y&T Japanese import today because of Derling.
All right, that's my round 2.
Excellent. Okay, Snowman, you go ahead. I'm just going to do a Jen check real quick. My wife Jen.
Yeah,
and,
no problem.
You go ahead. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So might as well do the Def Leppard real fast. We've already seen this from Mike. The 2 videos. I've got those. But that's not everything. I have a bunch of bootlegs from Def Leppard.
Interesting. I always love bootlegs. We'll see a couple.
The first one is Def Leppard Hard Rock, Singapore and Malaysia, and it's from 1995. So it's basically, where is it? Yeah, it's got 2 steps behind on it. You can't always get what you want. Ziggy Stardust. They do From the Inside, so it's kind of the retroactive era of the band. So I haven't reviewed this one yet for the site. So here, this one is one of my favorites. It's Def Leppard, the Pyromania TV collection. It is 2 DVDs, and it goes through all their TV spots from around the world where they performed a few songs or did an interview. And it's everything they did pretty much during the Pyromania
Is it more
era. So
live?
someone took all the time to piece together all these different little promo shows they did either in Japan or anywhere across the country. Australia, there's some stuff from Australia down here. They're on a little boat. You can see them going by the Sydney Opera House. This is I was really amazed how good this one was.
So I just want to address Chris real quick. Biggest Def Leppard collector that I've ever seen in my life. I've been wanting to get him on my show for ages. I want to get him and the Snowman on together. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I know I keep saying that, but let's make it happen.
All right. Then we've got Live in Sheffield, 1992. This one, of course, this is all the Adrenalize stuff. Let's Get Rocked kicks it off. Trying to see if there's anything on here that's any special. At this point, they were really playing only the last 3 albums. They weren't really doing much off the first 2, which is disappointing. Then we've got 1997 Argentina. This has a lot of the slang stuff. They've got Work It Out, Deliver Me, All I Want Is Everything, slang. So they play a lot of slang off of this album. So I actually haven't seen this one. I bought a bunch of these a long time ago, and I was like, I'm going to do the Def Leppard series. So I'm just going to wait to watch them when I get to that review. So it's coming up. The last bootleg one I have is Live in Mountain View. So this is during the Hysteria tour. It's not the greatest video. They basically are taking shots from the screens behind them, and that's pretty much what you see. I wanted it because I wanted to hear another concert other than the official one they released for the Hysteria, the In Your Face in the Round. So I wanted to have it for comparison purposes. And it's great. I mean, they were on fire during this tour. So the last Def Leppard one I have, since you said Laserdisc were acceptable, I pulled out my Laserdisc for In the Round, In Your Face.
That's a holy grail right there.
Yeah.
Like, I just want a cool Laserdisc.
Yeah, I was buying the Hysteria tour book because I do collect tour books as well. And some guy in Hawaii was selling the tour book plus this for $50.
Oh.
And everywhere else was selling just the tour book for $50. And I was like, oh, what the hell? And so I bought that one and got, so I was really glad. Now I want to get the other one. That's the DVD that's got the book. I want that one as well. Because I think there's Historia is on this. I'm not sure about, what is the Visualize or anything. I'm not sure if those are, but I know Historia is as well. So I'd like to find that one day. So that's my little Def Leppard collection of videos. So,
all right.
The size of that Laserdisc just reminded me, Mike, you'll probably be able to corroborate this. But I believe, we were talking earlier about filing our DVDs and our CDs separately, based on the case and what's included. And the reason why our DVDs are this big is so that they could fit the shelves of the VHS,
correct?
Weren't they?
Yep, 100%.
Otherwise, they'd all be in CD cases.
That's right, and that's
why we wouldn't have this dilemma.
When CDs first came out, there was basically 2 rows of CDs in the bin that used to hold the vinyl. So, all these things are considered in marketing. All right, so let's grab. we're gonna rip through these stacks very quickly. I file this with my music DVDs, hardcore logo, starring Hugh Dillon of the Headstones, and not one but 2 guys from the reimagined Battlestar Galactica series. Great movie, fictional account of a punk rock band that with an absolutely shocking ending that you will not believe. See hardcore logo.
Speaking of movies and stuff, if anyone can get a copy of Slades in Flame on DVD, I would be interested in that.
There you go. I'm not going to spend too much time on these. I already showed them off on Grant's Rock Warehouse. Helix, local band, 30 Years of Helix, 30th Anniversary Concert, and SEX rated. I think that's everything they have for DVD. And then we had the Iron Maidens. Now, mine are different from Harrison's. So here's Visions of the Beast.
You see them, don't you? Yeah, I noticed that Visions was different to mine. Yours was in a box when I
Yeah,
looked
mine
at
is in a
pictures.
box, a window box.
Mine's just a standard DVD. I probably bought mine much later than you did, though.
I didn't see Harrison show off Rock in Rio.
No, that's out of print and I don't have it. Unbelievable.
I think it's Jex that has Death on the Road.
Yeah, that's also out of print and unavailable.
Another classic album.
You can get it somewhere.
You can
Yeah,
get
but
it
it's
somewhere.
expensive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, your shipping to Australia is just insane.
I mean, it's just expensive. I really want that. I really,
Bruce's
really want
final
that.
concert.
I wasn't even aware it was on DVD.
This is the one with that horrible horror magician Simon Drake, I think his name is. Just awful stuff. With
Bruce's first final concert.
Bruce's first final concert. I believe Harrison's already showed this one off, but in a different guise.
Yeah, I've got exactly the same as you. Donington never made it to DVD, did it? That's a shame.
I don't think so. I don't.
You've
think
got
so.
the Blu-ray.
I've got the Blu-ray of On Vivo. And my Flight 666 is a book box.
Interesting.
So different from Harrison's.
Yeah. I mean,
here's something cool. Look at that. My movie pass for when I saw Flight 666 on May the 5th, 09. Oh, no, May the 5th, 9:30 p.m. There you go. $7.99 it was to get into a movie back then.
I didn't see Flight 66, but I did get to see Sabbath's The End documentary in cinemas.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, more Maiden. I don't believe Harrison showed this one off.
I did.
Or did you?
It was
you
the
did?
very first one. So
Okay.
You were out.
Yep.
And he definitely showed this one off.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're into the Jays with a band that have a really, really excellent live repertoire, Jethro Tull. This one here, the 25th anniversary collection, is a compilation. This one here is more a documentary with some live footage. And one of the cool things is that there's a lineup reunion, the original lineup of Jethro Tull. I think it's on this one.
Oh, so with Tony Iommi?
No,
That's
before
a joke. That's a
before
joke.
Tony Iommi.
I imagine a Tony Iommi lineup reunion.
That would be strange. I don't think he knows how to play any of those songs. Okay, into the Priest, Epitaph. You know,
I keep forgetting that one exists because it wasn't released on CD, so it's not in the box set.
And I don't remember watching it. Rising in the East from the Angel of Retribution
I
tour.
want that one because I love Angel of Retribution.
And again, there isn't a live album. There's a compilation with some of these songs on it.
Yeah, Touch of Evil has a few from that.
Another classic albums, The Making of British Steel. This is fantastic. And you know, at the time this was released, if I remember my details correctly, Rob Halford was not in the band when this was made. So if I remember correctly, he's separate from the other guys in the band when they do the interviews and everything. Harrison didn't show this one off. This is Ripper era.
No,
Priest.
that's a cool case. That's a
Isn't
very
it?
cool case.
Yeah,
I've got that on CD because of the box set, but I want the DVD too.
And there's like a really long rehearsal on this too. There's all kinds of stuff. Good interviews with Ripper. He's talking about his image and how he comes out in all these leathers, but then he early on in the set, he takes off all the leathers and puts on the black baseball cap and kind of becomes more his own character rather than a Judas Priest kind of character with the leather jacket.
I want that too. I really
The
want
reunion
that
concert.
Turbo.
Yeah. Not reunion concert. This is
Fuel for Life.
Yeah, Fuel for Life. This has the music videos. It has all kinds of cool stuff on it. Priest Live. Rockarola. I'm combining two piles, by the way, here because we can rip through the Kiss pretty quick with Snowman's help.
Yeah, I've got my own Kiss stack, so yeah.
This pile is pretty much all Kiss, so we'll rip through them really quick. This is still sealed. I think this is the only Blu-ray I have that's still sealed. I've never watched it. I have no intention of watching it. I just want to own it.
It's fantastic.
I'm not a Scooby-Doo fan. I hate Scooby-Doo.
No, but it's all the references to there's so many Kiss references in their history throughout this show, and Doc McGee is hilarious.
All right, fine. I'll watch it.
So it's like
I
a
sat with my
17
daughter and
round
watched it, and
chapter.
she loved it too, and it was great.
It does have one exclusive Kiss song called "Don't Touch My Ascot."
Yes, it does.
The Reunion, Second Coming. This was originally released as a, I think, 2 cassette. Was it 2
Two
cassette?
VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to have it. I don't have it anymore.
Kiss Symphony DVD.
I picked that up for $10.
Great concert. Jex Russell.
In Australia too.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
They talk
Jex-
about how we like Shandy, I think, and how we pronounce it. There's one that you asked me what the pronunciation is of something, and if you watch the Symphony DVD, Paul actually addresses how we pronounce it. What was the word? It was something in a previous Asked Harrison. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Well, anyway,
Sorry.
I don't know. This is unofficial, obviously.
Which one is that?
Live Thunder on Stage 2006. Live in Japan.
Very nice.
I just filed this with Kiss just for simplicity.
Hmm.
It's not bad. It's not bad. He does a lot of Paul Stanley deep cuts. Then we have the, well, there's 3. There we go. There's the 3rd. John has these, and we know that. The 3 Kissology DVD sets. These are great.
I want the one that has that 79 show.
Well,
With
that would be this
Radioactive.
one right here. That would
You
be.
want them all.
Yeah, actually, you do.
There's so much good stuff on there.
Radioactive Live can also be had on the, well, we'll see it in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just got to keep my pile straight here. Okay, those go there. And we've looked at those. And we have Kiss Live in Las Vegas. Again, unofficial, the Unseen concert. I don't know the details. It's only like 4 songs. This one is 5 songs. It's the 20th Century Masters.
Oh.
These are fun. Kiss the Lost Concert. I don't know why these things are lost when they're released on DVD. But there it is, the Lost Concert, 1976. It's obviously not a full concert, but this DVD is neither endorsed nor authorized by Kiss. Oh, I also filed in my Kiss. This is a good movie. We've talked about this. This is a good movie. I watched it recently, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Here's another. There we go. Kiss Confidential and Extreme Close-Up.
Oh, okay.
I believe Radioactive Live is on Kiss Confidential. And this compiles
Wasn't that
2.
a VHS as well?
Yes, it compiles 2 VHSs. Oh, this is a good one, too. The first DVD with Tommy Thayer, Rock the Nation Live, 2004.
Oh,
There's a
I have that
Japanese
somewhere.
version of this that comes with a 3-inch bonus CD. And that Japanese version is 100% one of my holy grails. There's some classic 80s VHS Kiss. Animalized Live, people seem to be having trouble finding this.
Yeah, those two are. I remember growing up with those two.
Yeah, classic. Paul Stanley's
Animalized
Rats.
Live is one of their best. That should have been a live 3.
Here's
But
another
that's a whole nother
excellent,
discussion.
excellent DVD. This is not the same as the album at all. Not even close. This is all vintage Kiss videos and memorabilia, and this is awesome. All right, that is that stack. I have 2 more to go. Before we get to Harrison, we're at the mid-show point. So why don't we run Peter Kerr's top 5 music DVDs, and then we'll be back in 5 minutes. Does that sound good to you guys?
That works.
Okay, so please welcome to the show from Rock Daydream Nation, Mr. Peter Kerr, with his top 5 music DVDs.
Hi, Mike and the gang. Sorry I can't be there today to be on the show. I am currently on holidays, probably be in a car traveling down the coast of Australia. Anyway, today I am going to give you my top 5 DVDs, music DVDs, in fact. So this is a pretty tough exercise because there are so many. But these are 5 that I've just grabbed that I go to repeatedly. So starting off, let's go to my number 5. The Cars. This is The Cars Unlocked, their live performances. It's been attested as the first live DVD or CD, it's also a CD, of The Cars. So this has all their greatest hits, Just What I Needed, Let's Go, My Best Friend's Girl, Good Times Roll. Um, the cars have been criticized as not being terribly energetic and being a little bit lackluster. Well, this is early cars and they're at their finest. Angular, spiky guitars, nice little synth lines. You can understand why a lot of metalheads and hard rock or rock fans always cite the Cars as being one of their favorite new wave type of bands. Speaking of new wave, my number 4 is this little ditty. Ugh, A Music War. Yes, that's what it's called. Ugh, A Music War. So this came out in the cinemas, I think in 81 or 82. Actually got released at the cinemas in Sydney, and it's basically concert footage of all the finest new wave acts around the world in a live setting. So you have the Police, you have the Go-Go's, you have Devo, you have the Cramps. I think there's Dead Kennedys. You've got Oingo Boingo. You've got Surf Punks, Joan Jett. If you want to see live footage of new wave bands at their absolute stone cold peak, this is the movie that you need to see. It's out on DVD and it's called Ugh, A Music War. There you go. It's all in its finest. There's also a record that you can get. I'm not sure if you can still get it or the CD, but absolutely brilliant. My number 3, Australia's finest, AC/DC, and Let There Be Rock. So this is, I think, was recorded in 1978. So on celluloid, Bond-driven lineup, Malcolm, Angus, Cliff, the rest of the lads. This is a absolute classic movie, and you can see why Bond was destined to be a superstar, but it wasn't meant to be for obvious reasons. All the greatest hits, all the AC/DC that you want, Let There Be Rock. It's like concert footage. Absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. 2 others. Dio, live in Philadelphia, 1986. So I've got more of a sentimental attachment to this particular DVD. This was the lineup that I saw in Australia when Dio, with the Dio band, first toured. I think it's got Craig Goldie. It's got the Craig Goldie lineup, but it's got all the hits like Sacred Heart, Last in Line, Heaven and Hell, and a few Rainbow songs. Absolutely all killer, no filler. If you want to see Dio, still any Dio in the 80s is still at the top of his game. Dio, 1986, live in Philadelphia. It's absolutely a classic. And I finish up with my number 1 is a Rainbow, live in Munich, 1977. So this is the long-lived rock and roll era lineup of the great Richie Blackmore. This is the long-lived rock and roll lineup of the great Richie Blackmore, Ronnie James Dio, Bob Daisley on bass, David Stone, and the great late Cozy Powell. All the hits are here: Kill the King, Long Live Rock and Roll, Light in the Black. Fantastic. It's just, Richie Blackmore was at the absolutely stone cold peak of his powers. And that's my number 1. So there you have it. 5 very different DVDs. And hope to see you guys soon and enjoy the rest of the show.
Plus the
Ironic.
Oingo Boingo.
Yeah. The 2 he didn't have to show off are the ones that I showed off for him.
Yeah.
Just to correct, Light in the Black isn't on Munich 77. I would have loved if it was.
Well, I'm sure that you enjoyed Peter's list.
Mhm.
I got to get you on with Peter again. We have to conspire to have that happen. So I'm looking at my piles here, and I'm going to go one more time. I'm going to blast through everything else in one more time Why don't you two guys do the exact same thing? We'll do one more round for each of us.
I've only got one round left.
Yeah, I know, but Snowman had 2. So why don't you double
No,
up?
but you had most of the Kiss ones, so I'll just show the Kiss ones that you didn't have.
Okay. Or you could take a closer look at yours. Doesn't really matter because I just blasted through. Up to you. But let's go to Harrison first. And this is going to be your final round.
All right. Very first before the run, I'm just going to quickly blast through a few things. It was dynasty, the word.
Dynasty. That
Paul's
was
like,
Dynasty,
yeah.
yes.
Paul's like, you guys call it dynasty here. So, this because it's shiny and because it's funny. Infrequent mild coarse language from Dave Mustaine. Dire Straits bootleg. I'd buy that for $1.
That looks
Oh,
official.
God. Hell yeah.
It's not. It's the same tour as the official DVD, but it's not that show. All right, so I'm going to go to my CD cases now briefly. So my Alice Cooper DVD collection doesn't end at the DVD cases. I've got this amazing show, my favorite live Alice Cooper yet.
I know I have it. I just can't remember it.
You have it in a Blu-ray case that Aaron sent you.
How does he know this?
I don't know how he remembers that stuff.
All right.
If I don't even know.
Yeah.
This is the deluxe edition of Road, which comes with the 2022 Hellfest show. The highlight of this show is Roses on White Lace, Bed of Nails, and Stephen, a full performance of Stephen, which doesn't always happen.
Very rare.
Right, now in the photos Mike showed me, he's got this in a different case, but
I do. In fact, I'll show it now.
Mine's a 2 CD, 1 DVD.
Oh, you know what? Mine's not actually. Mine's filed with my CD, so don't worry about it.
This is a great show. Great to hear. Great to see. I love the clockwork motif on those 2 CDs. And I love how Jimmy Page raided Han's wardrobe for this because he's wearing a white shirt and a black jacket over it, black vest over it.
And there's lots of extra stuff on that bonus on the DVDs rather than the CDs. There's tons of extra stuff.
Right. So this is a rarity. It's Peter Kerr might know it. It's
Living Loud. Oh, we've
Don
seen
Airey.
this before.
Yeah, you've seen it before, but not in Lord. Don Airey, Bob Daisley, Jimmy Barnes, Lee Kerslake, Steve Morse. This is the studio album plus the live DVD from a show they did. Now, the studio album CD has a bonus track from that live show, but it's not one of the songs that's not on the studio album. It's one of the ones that's on the studio. So I don't know live, but they could have picked, Give Me Some Lovin' or Good Times because neither of those, in fact, they could have put those on the CD as bonus tracks because they're the ones that aren't on the DVD.
I follow you.
Yeah, so just annoying. This one I'm showing off because this is Jeff Lynne's ELO. It's Wembley or Bust. It's one of the 3 live albums released on November 17, 2017, I think, along with Sabbath's The End and Maiden's Book of Souls live chapter. Why I show this off is because it's 3 CDs in a single slim CD case.
Oh, wild. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
The way they do it is they inset this last one so much so that the back actually has a circular cutout because they have to put the...
I see.
That's cool.
This is
Harrison,
the only
that's
time
wild.
I've seen it done.
I've never seen that. And I, spent 12 years in retail.
I've only seen it on this album. It's that's crazy. That. And okay, so lastly for the CD cases, and then a few serious rarities. So you might recognize Alice Cooper on there, Bruce Dickinson, Brian May, John Roth, Ian Pace. This guy that I can't remember who he is. This guy is John Paul Jones, Alice Cooper. So this is it was a charity show, and it's not always the same people on. Like you've got the Temperance Movement do the opener. Then Ule John Roth, comes in. He does Sales of Charon. That's awesome. There's This Wheel's on Fire, Bob Dylan cover by a woman called Sandy Thom. That's the best version of the song I've ever heard. Bruce Dickinson comes in doing, Thin Lizzy's Emerald, which he absolutely nails. He's doing Behind Blue Eyes. He does Black Knight, which he nails, of course. Brian May does Since You've Been Gone. Then Alice Cooper comes in for Elected and Schools Out. Oh, funny, Ian Pace is playing drums on Since You've Been Gone, by the way.
That's cool.
Alice Cooper comes out for Elected and Schools Out, the former with Ule John Roth on guitar and the latter with Brian May on guitar. And then the ensemble comes out for Smoke on the Water. Bruce gets a verse. A couple of the others get a verse. Yeah, not the first time that Bruce has sung a verse of Smoke on the Water.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you real quick because coming up on my YouTube channel, I have a Bruce Dickinson VHS archive interview addressing that very song that he's talking about.
Yeah, the DVD's got a few bonus tracks that aren't on the CD from the same show. Alfie Boe, I don't know if you know who he is. He covers Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll here. This is just really cool. I love this disc.
If you ever see another one, you send it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many like things that never happened again on this.
Yeah.
Like Brian May playing guitar for Alice Cooper of all people.
That's cool though.
So now I'm about to finish off with some serious rarities and cool stuff. So this is one of the cooler things. This is an ELO Blu-ray. Now this is, as the sticker here says, over 3 hours of ELO. So this has basically the namesake Out of the Blue live at Wembley. That's the 1978 Wembley show that's been released. That was on DVD. Then it's got Brunel University 1973. It's got Rock Palace 1974, including a cover of Day Tripper. And it's got a 1976 show. That's really cool. Some of these were released on DVD previously, but now they're all on Blu-ray in one place. And lastly, it's got Discovery 1970. Discovery is the album. So ELO never toured for Discovery. Instead, they made music videos for every song on the album that ran into each other, and they did that instead. The prevailing theory is that Jeff Lynne doesn't like touring, and at the top of ELO's game, didn't even have to tour Discovery to make money. So that's pretty much, every live thing ELO have released from the 70s on video form in there. I bought this for $5.
Jeez, not bad.
Some good bargains we're finding here tonight, eh, guys?
Yeah.
And it was not only that, it was buy one, get one free on Amazon. So I also got Eric Clapton's Mantra DVD you showed off for free with it, all for $5. Right, so this is from 2001, Jeff Lynne reunited ELO. When I say reunited, Jeff Lynne is the Steve Harris of ELO.
Yeah.
So he reformed ELO, rather.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants.
He let the keyboard player join the band because the keyboard player didn't partake in any of the ELO Part 2s that happened after. So that Jeff and the keyboard player are good, but everyone else is like dead to him. This has a lot of songs from Zoom. It's got a lot of classic hits. It's good. There was never a Zoom tour because the ticket sales were bad. So Zoom tour live is a misnomer. There were 2 shows, both for like TV. And this one was released on DVD. I've got Live Aid.
Nice.
Not the full Live Aid. Some bands didn't want to appear on it, and other bands, a lot of the bands have like songs missing, like Priest. You're missing Manali. You've got Another Thing Coming, but you get Living After Midnight, Manalishi. Cars are missing, you might think, but you've got a couple other songs on there.
Zeppelin?
Zeppelin's not on there at all, as you could expect.
Okay.
All right. We've seen this one before. Jex Likes It, Ian Drury and the Blockheads, live DVD from Hammersmith. This is a Black Sabbath DVD. This is some of Cross Purposes Live. Really good quality VHS rip too. This is from 2003, and they've got the best looking Cross Purposes off the VHS I've ever seen. It's only got Time Machine, Children of the Grave, Eyewitness, Mob Rules, Into the Void, Anno Mundi, Symptom, Headless, Paranoid. So it's most of the main show, but at the end of the day, it's still great to have it in such good quality.
Plus, I think that's all of the tracks that weren't on the CD. Anno Mundi,
Mob Rules, Anno Mundi,
and one other one.
Neon Nights wasn't on the CD, but it's not on this.
Okay, so you get 2 of the tracks that weren't on the CD.
The better 2.
Yeah.
And you get a bonus track, which is the video for Feels Good to Me, which is the famous Spinning.
Right. Yes, from the Tear album. Not a great music video. Whoever directed it had a thing for redheads, that's for sure.
Second to last, this is a bootleg, but it's basically an unofficial DVD of a VHS. So Billy Joel, Live from Long Island. My favorite thing Billy Joel has done. There's a lot of the Stranger album on here. There's a lot of other classic songs from his career. Really
You
good
know,
show. Quite good
KK
quality.
dropped a comment this morning about a Billy Joel DVD. I'm going to see if that's the one that he was talking about, because he did drop a comment about a KK.
I'd say unlikely because this is a bootleg, but a lot of it, most, if not all of this shows on Billy Joel's YouTube remastered.
He says his most watched music DVD is Billy Joel's music videos. Between the songs, he talks about the videos in his life in general. So that would probably be an official compilation.
Official one. Yeah.
Okay, well, at least we got some Billy Joel in for cake.
Yeah.
And lastly, my final one is Paul Di'Anno, The Beast.
From
about 2001 or 2003-ish. This is a full show of mostly Maiden covers, but some of his best solo stuff. It's also got a bunch of bootleg shows as bonuses, parts of them. It's got discography, all sorts of stuff in the bonus features. But my favorite of the bonus features is a then at the time, basically unreleased 3 songs from his vault. So I think they were later released on one of his anthology CDs, but at the time they were basically premiering here. This was expensive, but I think it was worth it. But then again, I like Paul's solo career a lot more than the most average people.
So tonight we have seen representation from all the 3 major Iron Maiden singers' solo careers, plus Iron Maiden themselves.
And very lastly, it's not a DVD, but you addressed it at the very start of the show. And because I had it here, it's...
the Y&T. Rock, apparently, is his name. Rock the Robot. That's cool.
So I had him around,
So we may as well... I don't have the book handy. It's right there. You can see it. It's right there. Go on Amazon, your home country's Amazon. Check out Y&T, Down for the Count by Tim Derling. The Y&T album review. John and I are both in this book. We're very, very proud. Great book. Check it out if you're a Y&T fan. And, I didn't show off this one, but here we go. There's some Y&T.
Yeah. That's about 80 to 85% of my collection. The rest is boring, uninteresting, or you've never seen before. Sorry, you've already seen recently, so I haven't shown it all off. That's all for me.
Well, I thank you, Harrison. I thank you very much. And then Snowman, this is it. Let's see your final run here.
We'll start off with a couple Kiss bootlegs.
Nice.
These are on Blu-ray. Simpsonville, 2013. So this would have been the Def Leppard Kiss tour, I think, because I remember the spider. Typical set list. So nothing. It's Kiss, not going to be much different than anything else.
Right.
It's pro shot. It's actually very good, very well done for not an official release kind of thing. The camera angles were great. The sound was fantastic. I was really surprised. I think I got this for $10, and then I picked up this one. So this is an end of the road tour from 2020. This one's in Allentown, Pennsylvania from February 4th, 2020. I saw this. I didn't see this particular show, but I saw it the year before. And yeah, I mean, it's not a very different set list. I'm really not a fan of a couple. I don't like Say Yeah. I like Say Yeah as a song.
I love it.
I like it as a song. When they play it live, it falls flat.
Right. Well, that's because of this. Paul.
Yeah, and the crowd doesn't care for it because that's the one time the crowd level noise gets a little bit lower.
And they forced that into their final show too, didn't they, John?
Oh yeah, it was on this set list. Was pretty darn close. Yeah.
It shouldn't have been in their final show.
No, it should not have been. They could have done a lot of things. This has Parasite, which they didn't have. So yeah, there's a lot of things. Heaven on Fire, Tears Are Falling. A lot of great songs. But I think I enjoyed.
As soon as you said Tears Are Falling, I thought of Jex Russell. And go to Tim's Vinyl Confessions on YouTube and check out our least favorite Kiss songs if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Shandy and Tears Are Falling. And oh my God, it was just, my heart was breaking every single time he spoke. It was funny. All right, so the last group here is Bon Jovi. So I'm in the Bon Jovi.
This will be cool.
Review. So first up, This is from Wembley Stadium These Days tour. Fantastic set.
I want that one because
yeah.
I love that album.
Yeah, this is a great one. I mean, they do Blaze of Glory on here and a lot of Sean. Then let's see, Papa Was a Rolling Stone medley there. Bad Medicine, Shout. They do a little medley. Some great stuff on here. Hey God is on here. It's very well. So I'd recommend that one. This is one of their better ones. Then we get the Crush tour from 2000. This one is in Zurich, Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I mean, this thing's fantastic. They play a ton of songs from the new album, which I'm glad to see. I mean, they played, I think they do 6 songs from the new album on here. So like we were talking about earlier, we love it when the bands play the album, and they definitely do that. This next 2, I bought a collection of 6 CDs from someone in Australia, not Harrison. And I bought it for 4 of them, and these 2 were in there. So it's a bootleg Rock and Roll Legends.
Oh.
And then this one is Wild in the Streets. The exact same thing. It's an interview disc. It's an interview disc from right after Blaze of Glory. So it's with John. He's actually working on Aldo Nova's album at the time. Aldo Nova comes in, does some of the interview as well. They cut some not backstage, but studio shots of Aldo in the studio and John in there. It's actually a very good interview. And I want to say it's a Canadian interview because they're in Montreal or just outside of Montreal or something. And I don't know, it's a woman. I don't know who she is, and it doesn't say on here who she was. So I can't really tell you that. But all the stuff says it's got Richie and stuff like that. No, it's just John Bon Jovi and Aldo Nova. It was worth, it was worth watching once.
Right.
And when I stuck this one in,
and you saw it was the same
thing, I just turned it off and I was done. But that's not why I bought them. I bought them for the other ones.
Right.
And it wasn't really for this one either, but this was in there. This Left Feels Right live.
Right.
I'll go ahead and spoil my review a little bit. I dislike the CD.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple good versions on it. However, live is a time when you can take a song and rework it, and it's not as bad, in my opinion. I'm more acceptable if they do a different version of a song live than doing a recording, a studio version. So I think this is better than the CD.
It has does it
has
have
more on it.
New songs on there as well? Because they did record new songs that didn't make it onto the album.
Correct. They're in here too. So,
okay.
And these aren't the album songs. These are all live. So they're done the way the studio was, but I like this one. So I'm not gonna knock it. Now, a couple of them sucked, but mostly I liked that album. Or the video. I thought it was really good.
Okay.
One of the main things I wanted to get was this one, and look,
I've got that.
it's the Australian version.
I have that exact version.
Yeah.
I this hasn't come up yet, but what region is Australia for DVDs?
4.
Okay, so it's not the same.
But a lot of music video DVDs are marked as like region 3 or region 0.
Yeah, this will work on anything.
Okay, gotcha.
But this is 17 original videos and 17 live performances. So
some previously unreleased live, a couple, I think, as well.
So, yeah, there's some good stuff on here. Even though there's Live from London, which is one we've got. Yeah, so there's some good stuff. If you're a Bon Jovi fan and you like the videos, then this is a good one.
That's the album that turned me off Bon Jovi because I was like, they suck live. By they, I mean John.
Yeah. The less said, the better.
Yeah, but the main reason I wanted is this Australian only DVD release, Inside Out.
Okay.
So this is why I bought from the guy in Australia, because you can't really get this anywhere else. And I forget when it was Madison Square Garden, Meadowlands Stadium, and London's O2 Arena. So it's 3 different shows that were grouped together.
Now, what era is that?
It's 2012, so whole lot of leaving going on. Those kind of have a
Lost
nice
Highway.
day. So it's more modern. Yeah,
I think that's pre-Circle, or is it? No, Circle was out. Circle was
Lost.
out.
It's Lost Highway. We weren't born to follow. I mean, I think it's Lost Highway and back. I don't think it's.
Okay.
I don't think that, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then the last Bon Jovi one, again, another one from Australia. It's live at Madison Square Gardens. So, and this one's from what year is this one? I don't know. Mild sexual stuff. So I guess John Bon Jovi gyrates a little bit on this one. But no, it's a good show. And again, it's kind of why I wanted those live shows that also, especially one at Inside Out, since you can't get that one anywhere else.
Yeah, that is a rarity.
So
that's cool.
And that's my stuff.
Okay, well, here we go for the final run. Okay, we saw some Zeppelin, but we haven't seen DVD of that.
Oh, yeah.
This is great.
Somewhat, yeah.
This is a 2-disc collection of various live shows. I don't think much in the way of complete live shows, but I don't know that for a fact. Live at the Albert Hall might be complete. 1970, we have a show. 72, Immigrant Song. 73, 4 songs from Madison Square Gardens. 75, there's about 6 tracks from Earl's Court. And then best of all, we get some stuff from 79, the very, very end, in through the outdoor tour. Fantastic for Zeppelin fans. I am a big fan of this band right here, P-Lander Z. And this is a documentary about them called Mad Tiger. That guy right there, he's their lead singer, P-Lander Yellow. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is. Check it out if you can. This is a Japanese punk band from New York City, and as you can see, they're very much into visuals. And their stories.
A Japanese punk band from New York City.
They're immigrants. They're all immigrants from Japan. Some of them barely speak English. I shouldn't say that. That's rude. They speak a very fragmented English. Fascinating personalities, fascinating band, and some decent songs. This came with the Marillion fan club subscription, Marillion Fear. It's their Christmas message, a Leavington warm-up gig in 2016, and the Fear recording sessions, Real World and the Racket Club. I have never watched it. Then we're into the Marillion, so we won't spend too much time. Piss Up in a Brewery, absolutely one of my favorite concerts they've ever done. This is acoustic with cello accompaniment on a couple of songs. This is a vintage VHS reissued on DVD with a whole ton of bonus stuff. This is, I believe, Season's End and maybe it's just Season's End. It might be some Holidays in Eden. Great live DVD. Marillion Zodiac is the name of it when it was released on CD, but on DVD it's called Shot in the Dark. This is from the Marillion.com tour. I love that. This is another collection of videos. Not exactly the same as the VHS that I once had, but a really good collection of all their eras. Early Marillion, recital of the script. Look at that artwork there, eh? Fish used to wear that mask on stage. So that's really early Marillion. Then we have some mid-period Marillion. This is, actually, that's the right way up. This is when they played the Afraid of Sunlight album in its entirety in 2003, and they also played an extra new song that didn't make it onto their next album, but made it onto the album after that. If I got that straight. Then we have Brave performed live. This is 2002. They played the entire Brave album live. They do that a lot. I stopped buying Marillion DVDs because I just don't have time to watch them all. Marbles on the Road from the Marbles tour. I think they played the entire album.
Is there a song in their discography that they haven't played live?
Yes. Don't get me trying to figure it out, though. Christmas in the Chapel, I remember nothing of this. Nothing at all. Like, there is a time when you have too much Marillion, and I am at that point. This is a 4 DVD set from, I think it's their fan club shows. There's one disc here called Bootleg Bingo, where basically they have like a bingo thing, and it chooses the song that they're about to play. They do a bunch of covers that they normally wouldn't do. Okay, that's it for Marillion. We're into the Metallica. This is the DVD reissue of the Live Poop box set, which you can see the full-size VHS CD version is up there with my music collection. But this is the DVD CD reissue. Comes with sized down versions of the extras that are in that thing. Not going to bother opening that up. Metallica S&M Live. This is really cool. Metallica Blu-rays and DVDs, they often allow you to choose camera angles. And I like doing that. I like say, just watching Lars play drums on a couple of tracks. This is a reissue of a VHS, a 2 VHS set, a year and a half in the life of Metallica, basically the making of the Black Album and the tour that followed. Another great Metallica DVD. This is from the Load tour. And again, you can choose camera angles. I really liked Metallica during the Load period, so shoot me.
Do you have Lulu on DVD?
I do not. I don't think there is such a thing.
I know there isn't.
More classic albums, the making of the Black Album. There's a lot of kind of overlap in terms of information here compared to the year and a half in the life of, but great stuff. Everybody needs to own, or at least watch, Some Kind of Monster. I think this is one of the most fascinating music documentaries in the world. I don't know if it makes you like Metallica or hate them. That's up to you.
I was just listening to the CD this morning.
Oh, really? Some Saint Anger?
No, Some Kind of Monster. CD.
The EP, I guess.
Yeah, the EP.
Yeah. Another classic albums. And this is when all these guys are dead. All three of those guys. Eddie Clark, Phil Campbell, or is it Phil Taylor? Phil Taylor and Lemmy. They're all dead. All three of them. They reunited this trio virtually. They weren't necessarily all in the same room playing, but they reunited them with special effects to make it look like they were. Really cool, fascinating stuff.
So you don't have Metallica's Cliff 'Em All then?
I did on VHS at one point. 3 Motley Crues, Greatest Hits, Carnival of Sins, which I've only watched once. There's Carnival of Sins, and then this thing. This was actually given to me by an ex-girlfriend who hated it so much because Vince Neil barely attempts to sing on it. But this is the only Motley Crue live with Samantha Maloney. There's also a bonus CD that came with the New Tattoo album. I think Samantha Maloney plays on that, but this is a full show with her. So that's fascinating. Yeah. And look, an advertisement on the back for the Dirt. This is, I believe, the only Motley Crue place that you can get Nobody Knows What It's Like to Be Lonely. I think this is the only place that song has ever been issued, which is an early Too Fast for Love era track that never made it to an album, probably because it's 7 minutes long.
Yeah, the only Motley Crue I have is the End video, but it's in my box sets, so it's not.
I have mine with my music CDs, but I've never even watched it. I haven't played the CD either. Another classic albums. Is this an endorsement for classic albums? Yes, it is. This is a great one because when they pull those faders back on the desk on the original tapes, you could really hear all of the stuff going on in Queen's music and Night at the Opera. Another one that I didn't show off is I have a 5.1 mix of the Night at the Opera album, surround sound. Very cool. On to the Queen of the Reich. This is an excellent concert, even though it has Kelly Gray on lead guitar. It was basically a summation of their entire career up to the Q2K album, done in terms of suites for each era. There's a suite. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Excellent live album, excellent DVD. And of course, we have Mindcrime Live. That's sort of an essential. I have the VHS version as well. It's filed in with my music collection. We wanted some Rush. We got some Rush. Here's our 30. This came with live CDs as well, which I actually have duplicates of in my CD collection. Compilation of their music videos, Rush Chronicles. The cool thing about their music videos is there's a couple of early ones that have completely different audio from the album versions, meaning I think they were recorded live in the studio. So The Trees is one example. The music video for The Trees has completely different audio from the album version. Oh, here's one that you guys might not have seen. We haven't seen any cases like this tonight. These tin
Oh, the Steelbooks, yeah.
Right, the Steelbooks. This was a Best Buy exclusive in Canada, but it's the Blu-ray for Rush Beyond the Lighted Stage. Amazing documentary.
So
And we have
one of those for Mad Max Fury Road, but that's not a music DVD.
That's still cool. That's like I love that packaging. They still advertise Steelbooks as a feature these days.
I have the
Rush.
CD for that.
Oh, you do? Excellent. I decided to show this off too. This is Sound City, Dave Grohl's documentary about the music studio. Essential viewing, and it has, I believe this is the one that has that Nirvana reunion with Paul McCartney on lead vocals and bass.
What?
Oops. Now, here's a rarity. When I was working at the record store, this was a $100 DVD. This is the Criterion Collection version of This Is Spinal Tap. Has completely different special features from the regular DVD of Spinal Tap. Highly sought after. Criterion number 12. So very, very, very early in the Criterion Collection series. That is a holy grail for a lot of people. Okay, I filed it under music. Why not? The soundtrack is one of my favorite albums. It is my favorite Tenacious D album. So why not? Dare I say why not? This is a Best Buy exclusive. If I recall, this is a Best Buy exclusive with a bonus something. Thin Lizzy's Greatest Hits music videos. A little bit of live, I believe. Yeah, Whiskey in the Jar, Top of the Pops 73. A lot of this stuff you can find on YouTube. And everybody loves Twisted Motherfucking Sister. The video years. So basically music videos, early stuff as well. 1982 television performance of It's Only Rock and Roll with Lemmy and Robbo. Robbo being from Thin Lizzy, but also from Motorhead. Then we have Twisted Videos and Twisted Live from 84. And then the really cool Wacken concert here as well.
I have that one. I just picked that one up.
I have 2 copies of it, actually. The other one being a dual disc, but this one has it separated into CD and DVD.
Yeah, I have the CD DVD, but one of them doesn't play all the CD's, not all the songs. Yeah.
No, it's not. They're basically different products. There's stuff on the CD that isn't on the DVD and vice versa. Yeah. Getting close to the end. I'm surprised this is the only Van Halen I own on DVD.
You don't have Live
I'm
Without
surprised
An
I don't have that.
I don't. I'm
I've
surprised.
got Live Without an Ed on DVD.
I'm surprised, honestly, Harrison, because I know I had it on VHS. Now, the interesting thing about this, unlike the album, Greatest Hits, this goes all the way up to the Gary Cherone era, as Without You.
Cool.
Yeah. And finally, ZZ Top Double Down Live, 1980 and 2008. My wife bought me this because truth is she's too good to me. She goes out, she sees something like a ZZ Top DVD, and she goes, Mike likes ZZ Top. I'm going to put a smile on his face. And she brings me home a ZZ Top DVD. She's done that so many times, including a lot of DVDs that I don't own anymore. I got rid of all my Dream Theater, apparently, as I'm discovering. All my Harem Scarum. My Blue Rodeo isn't here. And I think the reason I got rid of that is because it was water damaged. I spilled a coffee on it. I think I sold it for that reason. But I shouldn't have. It came with, remember Viewmaster, John? Remember those Viewmaster things?
Yeah.
It came with a little Viewmaster disc. And it's like, I wish I didn't get rid of that. But I know I spilled coffee on it, so that's probably why I did. There's a ton of stuff I used to own that I don't anymore, and I'm kind of regretting it now. But that's the life of a collector. And speaking of life of a collector, we're just going to plug one more time. Tune in February. John's new show, The Collection, on YouTube. Too Loud, Too Old Music on YouTube. That's all I got. Are we done?
I don't think so.
This is one of the longest Grab a Sack of Rocks we've ever done. So thanks, guys, for hanging in. I'm really glad we did it all in one shot.
Yeah.
Harrison,
Mm-hmm.
you have some pretty amazing stuff coming, but we're not going to talk about it yet. What can you talk about?
If you want to see pictures of old planes, go to the website.
Yes,
And muscles.
you went to an air museum.
Yes.
Chris P. Yes, it was epic. I will tease, though, that Harrison has been very busy. Very, very busy. And John, I've been teasing to him too that Harrison's been busy, but I haven't said a word.
Nope.
So, John, we now know what you are up to. You've been putting together a show, but I know you've got tons of balls that you're juggling in the air. You've got Def Leppard review series. What else?
The Bon Jovi review series. Those keep me pretty busy. And then just anything else that pops up. We've got the January purchases wrap up coming this week. I'm trying to. I think that's the only other thing that's this week. Still going through. I'm trying to think who's my Sunday songs I'm doing right now.
Mine.
Whose choices?
With my Japanese
Still
import
yours.
bonus tracks,
Still
yeah.
yours. Okay. All right.
4 more of his, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a few more weeks of yours, and then Harrison's is coming up after that.
I'm looking forward to his.
No.
My favorite of the ones that I picked is still to come. I think it's the last one.
Probably so.
Mike's going to be very surprised with the last one.
Really?
Probably mildly displeased.
Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know what else to say. Tune in next week. We have Marco Doria, director of the film Mystique, standing on the firing line. We're going to have him back here on Grab a Stack of Rock to talk about the brand new 95-minute cut of the film, which I have seen, I have reviewed. Jex Russell will be with us. He has also seen it and reviewed it. It's a fantastic film. If I was going to talk about my top 3 music documentaries, we've seen 2 of them here tonight with Some Kind of Monster and Anvil. And dang it, Mystique might be my 3rd favorite. So tune in next week. Week after that, Feb 9, we have the return of Dr. Catherine. She's going to be showing off her 1980s cassette collection that she's recently rediscovered. And we're also going to have Jex Russell back. We're going to take a look at my cassettes. We're going to have a great time. Those 2 shows coming up. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on this Friday night. I now release you to your families.
Oh.
And anything else you guys want to say before we go?
No, just keep an eye out for the show, the collection, and the teaser pops at midnight tonight on YouTube. So go and subscribe.
There you go. And thank you as always to Harrison. He did the artwork again this week, and he's fantastic.
Yeah, he's not too bad.
He's not too bad. As
No
you
stuff
guys
is on.
know, we always like to end the show on a song. And, I've been thinking that the people need to hear Overload, because I keep playing it at the start of the show, but they never get to hear the whole song. So I think we're going to play Max the Axe Overload as our final song tonight. And thank you for watching. Yeah, Chris, check out next week, or not next week, the week after that. She's got Glass Tiger and Bryan Adams, tons of stuff. Take care, guys. So this is Overload by Max the Axe. Check out John at tooloudtoooldmusic.com. Harrison at Harrison Block on WordPress. We'll see you next week. Bye. Max the Axe in costume tonight with red hat.
He's kind of a big deal.
Hey guys, it's Jon Snow with TooLoud2OldMusic.com coming at you with some exciting news. After 8 years of running the site, we decided we'd do a show, and the show is going to be called The Collection. So naturally, it's about my collection, and we have over 2,000 pieces. So we thought it'd be good to go through them. Occasionally, we'll have guests, maybe even having some of the artists that are in my collection on for interviews. We don't know what's in store. So hopefully you'll be excited about it as much as we are. And it'll be coming soon. So go to YouTube, click subscribe so you'll be notified when the shows post. Thanks and welcome to The Collection.